거시고기 조심해도 아마리 로마리지 에데기네 바디 상기의 신인도 이대우와 이로고 남한다 신의 알라 주어봐라 이 남은 구루라 남의 너라금 니아하야미
상제
추단석이 조남나 전주파도다니 겹소지 다기 추년 기배 소남기 조라 현재 상계 도파쇼
상제
추단석이 조남나 전주파도다니 겹소지 다기 추년 기배 소남기 조라 현재 상계 도파쇼
상제
주단석이 전남나 장주파도다니 겹소지 다기 춘년 개배 소남기
돌아벤제 상제
도아쇼
조문사는 얘기는 또 하고 이제 남자에게서 나게 저든 또 그게 투자인이 있으나 따와 단제 뿐이시고 그저 잠이친 땐 잡았고 내가 찾아 motivation because so oneself purpose life oneself and even not only temporary even ultimate happiness the everlasting happiness or the liberation or something nirvana the beautiful state of peace for oneself even achieve that is not sufficient all of us not sufficient purpose of a real purpose of life is to benefit sentiments, even one insect, even one person, then that depends to not harm, so that you can benefit. So like that, from that, numberless food, numberless happenings, numberless hungers, numberless animal, numberless maybe numberless therapy, numberless enemies, everywhere to benefit, to free everyone from oceans of some suffering and bring them to enlightenment, peerless happiness, that's stolization, obscuration, completion, realization, by myself alone. And through that, myself should reach a state of omniscience. So as I explained yesterday or the other day, that even art has, unbelievable qualities. They have incredible psychic power and so forth. But still, there's four cause of unknowing that I haven't abandoned, so I cannot do perpetual since being. So therefore, if you want to reach a state of omniscience, then treat with that. Therefore, I'm going to listen. Holy teaching that to make your own life most meaningful. Okay, beneficial for sentient beings. Yeah. Yeah. There was one correction. I think long time ago, I mentioned one night Pavanka, and then the revealing the spiritual person was I mentioned a long time ago. I think maybe the first night or second night, I'm not sure, one of the times. So I must correct this. So you know how to think of spiritual related to Guru. So you don't create next karma. It is so important. I give you one idea, example. During those times when there was a very much, His Holiness. It's not His Holiness on first time. No, in Tibet already. In Tibet, Tibet was independent. That time, many high lamas. Many high lamas gave advice to the monastery to not practice, to abandon. Many lamas mentioned in Tibet. Not many people, many Tibetans even think it's only His Holiness Lama. Many people they don't agree. They protest. They criticize His Holiness Lama. It's not like that. It's already in Tibet, a long time ago. Many lamas. Many lamas, great lamas who preserve Dharma, like sun shining in the world, one sun shining in the world, everyone can enjoy. So that the great lamas who, preserve spirit Dharma, such as Gaden Cheba, Ngawan Choden, great lama. Then he also advised that in Tibet. there's because I should abandon not practice. Then Pujo Ngawan Champa. Pujo Ngawan Champa. I think it says it's supposed to in Buddhism, in Buddhism, I think Pujo Ngawan Champa. He's during his life, he attended so many people, so many very good. Yeah, particularly actually in them. Putting out some so he advised monasteries to not practice. So in Tibet, you have to know. You have to know this in Tibet. Already, High Lamas mentioned. It's not. It's not the first. No, you don't think that. That's wrong. Then I think 8-1. His on his incarnation, the 8-1, also announced do not practice today. In the I think maybe I'll mention probably past several times how the Kopan course has started. I think I mentioned Kopan course up to now started from Kajin Gelton do this kind of thing. Lama Sunshine in the world, Allah does. So if I tell that to you, then you might get more idea. Otherwise, you will know the life story of the Kajin Gelton. Yeah, there's a monastery in Bauta, near Bauta, Samdel Chilling. So the monastery in Tibet is near Nepal. Chitong, near Nepal. In Tibet, but near Nepal. That monastery doesn't have Tibet, but it is very pure practice of Vinaya. Many practice. The way we're running the monastery is not so much like Saraka, so much on the debate. The debate is the main thing, understand Buddha Dharma very widely. Many texts, many great Lama texts were there. The Pandits and Buddha teachings. It seems to me emphasize that. It seems excellently. This, like I think, this is mainly Vinaya practice. And many practice emphasize that. So it didn't have debate and that monastery, something, I don't know why, very interesting. I think I mentioned here before, maybe last time, I'm not sure. It takes much time to tell the story. So in Bodh Gaya, there was very early time debating, which was giving Amitabha initiation. So there was a Gani Muli, and there was some Western student, and to talk something about the Amitabha, something. I don't know what utilizing the ordinary death, ordinary intimacy, ordinary repose in the path of England, in the path of Sikayas, purifying and making the mind wrap into the pastime, Dhammakaya, Sampathakaya, Nimankaya, then to plant, to achieve the result time, Sikaya, so that I think they do some talk to them. So I think during that time, Japanese monk, Zango came from Scotland. I think he was in the monastery, the first monastery established in the West, in Scotland. So he came from that. And so he did a course, 7 course. This normally they do 7 mindfulness, 7. So course with the guy. so many Westerners, and of course, so the Zina, the first Russian student, her name is Princess Zina, her father was king, maybe some early Russia, I'm sure. Yeah, so she in the restaurant she requested Lama to the course. It's not that Lama does no meditation. Studied well the 5 great texts, the Panavatika and Abhidhamma, Kosha Abhidhamma, Alankarika, and then Madhamika, Bunaya, all that. And then Lama did you already receive initiation of Debja Son, Mr. Baksa, did you go somebody, Matakachal, somebody, all that in Baksa. Many old geishas have done this already, Baksa. It's because of Debja Son's kindness. He said, not only spend life only debating, only debating, only that, no interest, no doctor in Tantra, just shouldn't. That life is very short. Human life is very rare. Life is very short. So don't miss Tantra practice. So that's why he used to give that advice. Don't only in the debate, okay? So many monks, many old geishas, many old Baksa, he led retreat. Also, many monks able to many retreats in Baksa. In Tibet, usually it seems as usually emphasize the debate Sudra, very much that you can't keep even sadhanas, your Tantra practice. Sadhana, if you have received initiation, you can't keep in the in the text. It's only debating text. You can't keep even that. That's how strict. That so individually some monks go outside to take initiation or limitations from our lamas. Other monks given or like that, the teachings, initiation in the monastery, even limitations are rare. Because so much services have been debated too. So in Tibet, I'm talking in Tibet, it's rare, very rare. So individually, you go outside to take initiation, teachings, otherwise, the monastery itself doesn't hold. It's very, very rare. So, because also one way, if you do Lamdim initiation 17, and then sutra, so deep study, so profound study won't happen. So the time goes to other sister tantra and other, you see, then the deep, profound study, sutra, miss out. Then doesn't happen. So each college produce, excellent, so unbelievable learners, so that doesn't happen. So then you see, understand the Sutra extends with depth, how that's become less. Also constant. That's the emphasis of the abbot and the Gekko, who explains who looks up discipline, there's advice, and so like that. So there's also kind of disadvantage at the side. You see, if you involve too much, then the Sutra study extensive it doesn't happen. So, but some individual monks, then they go out to take limited teaching or great initiation for the Lama. So the Geshe Lama Kuntung, for example, he was doing by himself like that, making pilgrimage, all those things. So I think, so this is a while they're in the monastery studying. But of course, after it's finished, and then they go to Tantra college, and then after that, of course, they would have time to do those things, limited teaching and, studying Tantra, all those things. But there is, while they're studying sutra, there are individual monks. Those who can, they still practice. They're chanting, they practice tantra. They learn tantra. It's up to your it is up to your capacity. So, Kachin Gelsen. Well, I start to talk. But the teacher which was my guru, has been the old transmission. So Rinpoche is a root guru. Zatul Zarimbo Sanje, without the Zarimbo, it's a holy place, Pamasamba. It's an unbelievable holy place, Pamasamba. There's a cave in the. If the Tibet become more free, then I thought must go there to retreat. It's unbelievable. So 1 month you do retreat. It's incredible purification. It's unbelievable. Purification of quality medicine to develop your mind. There's very unbelievable place to visit, to retreat there, to practice in pure days. Wow. So his root Guru's monastery is there, just behind the Mount Everest, backside. That room was. I say. But it didn't have, of course, very good monastery, of course, great Lama, exercise path, great Lama, so of course, very good monasteries, disciplines, everything, of course, many great mentors, but it didn't have, at the other side, like I didn't have the debate. So it didn't have that. So the treating with monastery in Tibet or in the Nepal up to So many monks, so many other Gajinima other not course has but many other Gajinimas didn't have Tibet because his owner said it must ask even the lay people to study with the Dharma, so not to the 20th century. Should be different from previous, not just only faith in the you must have must follow the Buddhism, must practice Buddhism with understanding. Very much often emphasized. So there are many people expert debating in Tibet. This past years it happened many years. They studied quite a bit and they're very good in debating in lay people. Never happened before. So during his advice, and they even Dharmasala, lay people, the old people and young girls, they debate outside in the monastery, so like that, besides the monks. So now it's very much, so like that, so understanding. So I think without much understanding, then just faith, then I think they're difficult to last with the Dharma much in the world. Even from the outside world, ask questions, you can't give answer. Just for the faith, and then you see it cannot last a long time with the Dharma in the world. So because his son is so much always often says that, so even lay people, so much lay people learn debating the Buddhist philosophy, the way, excellent way of studying Dharma. Such details. So, so now many people, lay people know. You see, Buddhism is something more you studied, more you learned through special debate. Then you see what comes together with the science, Western science. Only religion, there's so many so many thousands of religions in the world, but only one that can go together with the science is the Buddha Dharma. As often as one says. Yeah. I mean, from experience, like that, you see. Not only as well, but what goes with science is only reasonable, logical. Or goes with science, what then the Buddha Dharma. So that so that it can last a long time, so that people can understand why. You see, they can get answer. So otherwise, why then you don't answer? It's only paid like this. So that is not stable. That's not clear. You don't understand Buddhism. But many monks, they ask his or the Minika because he was a Minika learning debate in Geshes from Serache especially. The Geshes are excellent. So the Kantula, much of it, Kantula, they believe Kantula advice. So Kantula, if you really want to study the Dharma, they must embody Geshe called Serache, and then must learn, then so many monasteries they start learning Tibet. All that happened, much as in Nepal and or maybe also India. So I like that. So Dabji Trijin, monks request Dabji Trijin, we must learn the Tibet, the minimum. So then Rinpoche takes a few days. Then he didn't accept, because he didn't have before, didn't have Tibet. So Rinpoche didn't accept to have that in the monastery. You have to understand. So there's a reason, there's a reason, for that, why Rinpoche didn't accept. That's because Rinpoche does not Dharma, not that at all. Rinpoche is the Eastern Dharma's guru, it is initiations. So anyway, that's so I'm talking about the Kajin Kansas Monastery. So she asked Lama to do meditation. So Lama taught her maybe that way, or the languages, but Lama didn't accept anyway. Even though the meditation in Baksa already, initiated like that, they outside looking. Then second time she requested, Lama didn't accept. So I was reading the Lama teaching of the Kajin Shikelsen, the Great Lodging. So, I reached up to refuge. I was very inspired to do. So she asked me third time. So I asked Lama. Lama said, if you think it's beneficial, then you do something like that. I don't know what would do. So we started 5 days course at Kopan after that, coming in Nepal. 5 days. Then there are 2 pages. There was one nun I never met since from that time. What happened today, I don't know. One nun, I don't know if it's from Canada or America. So she helped me typing only 2 pages. So from Prabhupada Amitabha Buddhist Centre and this outline. Then the most one is think the Lord, I think, then there's the karma, the outline, not karma, not the whole outline of karma. So that's like that. Anyway, it's a 5 days course. So people from Bodh Gaya, those who did courses, they every day, sort of amateur, every day they come, increase people, and also Zengo came. She was there last day or 1 or 2 days, I think. So anyway, the last day was the Bodhicitta. Last day was the Bodhicitta. So when I finished the talk, then there was an American man, Dennis, his name is Dennis. So later he became a monk at Kopan Monastery, and then I didn't meet him. So he was late that time. Then he put the clock upside down. He put the clock like this. He didn't want to see me the time. He wanted me to continue. Then I went in our small room at Kopan, the house built by the king for his guru or for his astrologer. Buddhist house. So we were staying in a small room after you come to the gate. Then in the first. So there's window, there's doors, and myself, the Lama's there. So that's it. So Zina used to bring brought dinner to us. She was completely shocked, surprised, unbelievable surprised to hear my talk with the Jita, and in front of Lama she expressed it. That's how it started, and then the second course started. Next year, second course started, and I think that's 1 month. I think. I think I begin from Lama Sangha, Lama Chö, right from beginning course book, and then because students who were there, they all those who were Dharma before. So I can start right from beginning for the practice, and so. When it came to Karma, then I had to leave to India, to Kopan Monastery, to receive Hiruka commentary, initiations, and other initiations. Our Lamas, So, Lama, there was a Lama, special deity. Lama was good, but he gave me the victory to me. He took the laws of something like that, They sent to the course. So he let me to go. So that's how it happened. And then, so up to now, how many courses? 52 courses at the 1 month course, just only 1 month, without counting the short courses that Karen lead, and so now there's Karen and John here. So different nuns they lead when they're short course, and then the other Geshes Lama Lundro. When he was there, he come to the Kashansa or Buddha Sabha or refuge, and then or things like that. When Lama's time, of course, and then when Lama time, then takes much time. So I talk about the Eightfold Dharma, the shortcomings of Eightfold Dharma, and the Lord. So 2 weeks, and everybody, people came from the West already. They renounced the material life. They were called hippies that time. Material life, they gave up and they look for different happiness in Nepal, India, or the group of guru, or basically their happiness, better happiness, or spiritual happiness. But yeah. So then I'm not going to go deeper, much more conversation there. Too much time. So the yeah. So yeah. So I talk, yeah, like this. So you see, they come to Nepal, then I can hear they hear the, motivation, the way of living life, and the attachment to this life, clinging this life. That's basic motivation. Then how everything external body spiritual, whatever you do all day and night, all nando to and then so then again more depression. Depression already from the Western life. And then secondly, because of my talking about life, and then about the motivation, the worldly mind, the attachment to clinging to this life, then all the activities done, so no essence, no happiness, and then only creating so much suffering, and then so about the relationship problem, all that thing comes up with so many problems. So then they double, then they have a deeper depression, and then seeing their life, how their life has been. So then they first kind of sad, no smile, sad, very sad first, and then they come for lunch. Then they come out for lunch. Lunch, that's African, very primitive. So they come for lunch under the Bodhi tree. So then that time bathroom is not well taken care of. So from bathroom the smell comes, toilet smell comes. Here, about food, the nose, smell from bathroom. So this is how the course was done. If you want to know, with much hardships done in the past, very primitive. So. People the noble God, the Buddha boys to say, but that course of run during that time, even though some rooms didn't have a door, so temporary build up. So quite dangerous for small little monks are to fall down this, when higher steps and. And so when the course happens, then Western people stay inside, and the boys, monks stay in the tent in the grass, by laying grass, and then, then they sleep around and so like that in the old time. So much hardship is done. So due to so much hardships, then there's many students really they practice Dharma without any worldly expectation, become paramours or powerful or something like that. Just sincerely from seeking Dharma. So don't care all these problems, hardships and really hot and cold and all that don't bother. So really seek Dharma. So from that, so it benefited so much to their mind. So to their mind, benefited so much they went back to their country and they want to help their friends to explain meditation and how so they want their friends to receive benefit Dharma, the real happiness in their mind. And so that's how the rest of Dharma Center started. Rest of Dharma Center. But I think during COVID, I think few centers are disappeared, right? So Mexico, some ones, no people coming, so people could come to disappear. Otherwise there was the original, there was the 166 before. Yeah, 68 something, and that's or some. Yeah, this happened. So this, of course, it's Lama is kindness. Also, out to then each Lama comes, he makes everybody to laugh. Everybody to laugh, even fall down or you laugh so much. The each time Lama comes, everybody laugh. So we did a course like that. I make them upset, Lama makes them laugh. So that. That's how the FPMT developed. So Kajin skeletons, you see, yeah, unbelievable. By reading Islam, it's inspiration to me. So, yeah. So Kajin gives advice to the monastery to not practice that in Tibet. So not only Israelis, people, general people, it's all Israelis, then they criticize it. No, they don't analyze. So they create very heavy things. Not only criticizing Buddha, but generally. You understand? So you can see it's one. Then taking Chujima wrote so many teachings to the Tantra. So he also advised to not practice and why. Then Zhangjiang I think he passed away, town or China. There was one building where Zhangjiang came in town. I saw the house. Great Lama. He also advised in Tibet, to not practice that. Then Multu Dhammapada, Multu Yangchen to Vidaji, Multu Yangchen to Vidaji, then also advised to not practice. Then Multu Dhammapada, then many Lamas were already in Tibet. I think I mentioned in the past here. So the Kaswale Debung Great Lama, Tokan Rinpoche, Great Lama, who actualized the tantric path. So after he became Geshe, he became Geshe, the Muslim one as well. Geshe. Then he left the mountain. And there's a very high mountain near Lhasa, Rinpoche or something, Rinpoche. Very high mountain, usually it's clouded to the top part when you go up through. To have to see the complete mountain. So, they to the mountain. He came to find cave. So he was carrying the monks, children, then the Lamritimondus. So find cave. So then there was a stone falling down towards him. So he fell to that. Then there was cave. There was skeleton meditation position. So he sat down over mandala. Then the skeleton collapsed. So he decided to be meditated in the cave. Then later his disciples, those very learned, disciples amongst after the Pinkeshi, they didn't come to Minty, not near, very distant to Minty on our mountain. So I think that there's one disciple who took voluntarily the I forgot the name, the disease. The contagious. What? What? Leprosy. Yes, leprosy. Yes. So this Mentetro, his disciple, took voluntarily. It's Tonglen practice, to voluntary leprosy disease on him. He experienced leprosy disease. But you see, you have to know, Lama Adesha's disciple or translator, Domdamba, who's the image also voluntarily took leprosy disease from others. He lived with leprosy disease, voluntarily took on him. Oh, Lama Adesha's translator, Domdamba, Jao Domdamba, you understand? Like that happened. So his disciple did this practice. He experienced leprosy. Oh, then you see, I heard from Geshe recently from Geshe. We to author all that for the 5 great texts, the debate, you see, Jisen, Tachun, so one for analysis, so one for journal, so good room for the all transmitter Jisen. So I think it should mentioned, I think. So, very much that disciple, his disciple, took leprosy, maybe passed with that, I'm not sure. So then his the pot where he made pee-pee, the pot where he made pee-pee, in his church. So then it's used by Amitabha Rinpoche to drink tea from that. Amitabha Rinpoche drink tea from that pot. Where his disciple who got leprosy, voluntarily, then he chose that pot, pee-pee pot. Is by the disciple Mentera. So Joe is a guru, but he used that to make tea, to have tea from that. So incredible, that means praise to, humble praise to this his disciples bodhicitta practice. Unbelievable, be a brave hero bodhicitta, taking out the sentiment, suffering voluntarily. Actually taking on yourself. So I think praise so much, then it's pee-pee pot here, drink tea from that. So anyway, yeah, I think I mentioned last time here, I think. So one day, one monk who was oracle of Tojil came with another monk, came. Probably expectation is if he accepts Tojil, the particular Third, if he accept, then he has to stop. When the disciple, they will practice. So he wants his reputation power to increase. So that's his motivation. That is the motivation. And so Jehovah was asked the Third. So the Third is into the monk. So Jehovah was asked, is this vase impermanent or not? He said yes. Yes, that is impermanent. But then he said, whether this vase is truly existent or not? He asked the question, whether this vase is truly existent or not? Then he said, yes. Today, in the monk answer, yes, it's truly existent. Then it's not. Then he recognizes not, ample, not. He is seeking the Third. Then he character, dispelling the interference character, the chest way. So that's what Amitabha Buddhist Centre. So proved. So there's something to not practice. That's you see. So goes through high lamas to kind of ask or make them to practice, so that so many of his disciples would practice, so that your reputation, your power. So they're looking for like that, you see. So anyway, what I want to say, what I advise is that, of course, I haven't met Pabanga Rinpoche, except his teachings. He is teaching the most direct, but not haven't met. The incarnation of that I met at Baksa. He became Geshe, and then he took cancer. Raja Geshe took cancer, passed away, Kashang. Then the one incarnation which exists now is the incarnation of that. So then the story I don't have mentioned, it will take time. So all of that, that and then chapter 10, which was our root guru. The root guru is a Papanga, chapter 10, which is root guru Papanga, and chapter 11, which is root guru Papanga. Many great lamas during that time, many great lamas, root gurus, the Papanga. So that and the Jitsen, and the Jason, and the Lama Ishe, and the Gurus they don't practice the Tsul Tempa. They pretend Tsul is an outside aspect, show the outside aspect, Tsul Tempa. So, like similar Buddha doesn't have even outside doesn't experience suffering, rebirth, and all the age, sins and death, totally abandoned by achieving iron path. Then there's wisdom, direct perception, and then cease all the seed of delusion karma. So totally free from suffering samsara. So even after drowning, how can Buddha free from even subtle defilements, totally free? How Buddha can experience? But Buddha showed, back pain and maybe I don't know, some stick went through the leg or some. Buddha show, and the Buddha explained the cause of that. So what Buddha wanted is to tell the karma, to show the karma to us sentient beings. So some stick pain went some hit went entered through the feet or something, and that's because in the past life some I don't know. In the past life, some before England, but much before then, something I don't know, misconduct or something in the past with women, something, try to show karma to show sentiment, like. You see, for children, when you teach for young children, the teachers, they have to act. They have to act those different people, whatever you see, to teach the children. So it's like that. So even though it didn't enlighten fully, but to us to show the karma, the karma to show, the Buddha has to act, show. This pain, because I past karma, so that, so like that. You see, all this act, and not the real practice, but it's all this act, for the benefit of us sentient beings, to myself, to benefit us sentient beings. This time. To bring to free from samsara, to bring enlightenment, but then show these aspects, like how Buddha teach. Since I mentioned Kajo Kanjin Rinpoche, in Dalhousie, he was leading group monks during retreat. And including the way Genchambong was led. He was in the room, in the retreat, doing whole life practice. Whole life retreat, whether staying in a particular room or not. It's like that. They have a realization, so this whole life retreat. So he was showing sickness, so when outside people come, he was so sick, they come out for people, then he was so sick, he was sort of can't go straight, he was liberty, kind of, you call chom. How to say? Chom. You can't go straight. You chom. Huh? Chom. You can't go straight. So when very sick, then you go like this. So outside, she was shown like that. But when people left, then one person looked through the. He was really true or not. Through outside, through the small hole, but he wasn't. He was sick. He was able to stay straight, and he wasn't sick. But outside, he showed like this. Just do it. So for the benefit, because you need that aspect. You need that showing mistaken aspect. You need that to bring this 20th century, like me, sentient beings. You need that aspect. To free from samsara and to bring us to enlightenment. You need that aspect. So they show the aspect, they didn't practice. If they practice, their practice means they did mistake, means they are not Buddha. You understand? It comes to your main practice, Guru you are, is not there. So they're not Buddha. They did mistake means they have to, then they're not Buddha. So the whole entire Guru is not only Tantra. Many people think only Tantra. No, this is a Tantra. So all that's total false. Becomes all total false. You put your mind to it, total false. So there's no true blessings, Guru in your heart. So then you create a heavy sinikrama with the Guru, or then the heavy suffering in the Lord for humans, even this life problems, like that. Then without no realization. Gets much enough. So aspect, so that need, missing aspect. That aspect is need. So same thing, the Lamrim teachings and Tantra teachings and the Sutra Lamrim teachings show this so much quotations and the logics, Guru, you see the Guru doing, showing ordinary aspect, which means, ordinary person means, doesn't sometimes as a Dharma subjects not knowing or mistakes in the actions or immoral or something, you see, so many things. So totally showing ordinary aspect. So there's a need to show you ordinary aspect, because without showing the ordinary aspect, you can't see the Guru. You can't see the Guru, you can't receive teachings. You can't show the Guru ordinary aspect. You don't see ordinary aspect. Then the judges don't give teaching in that aspect. You don't get teaching. You can't see judges. You can't say Buddha in that aspect give teaching. You don't come out of that. So your mind is not purified. You see, not even Arya Bodhisattva, not even ordinary Bodhisattva, nothing, not even art or nothing. So mind is very ordinary. So mind is very ordinary. So they have to. So only way you can see the Guru, only way the knowledge Buddhas can help you is by showing ordinary aspect. That Guru, by showing ordinary aspect, so that you can see. So that your impure mind, so you who have impure mind, the karma, obscure mind, karma, then can see, can receive teaching, can receive advice, can receive peaceful advice or wrathful, in the various aspects, I say, whatever is needed. So teachings, commentaries, initiations, all that, Suzan Tantra, all the teachings can receive. With the ordinary aspect, which you can see. So number of Buddhas have to show this to guide you, ordinary aspect, no choice. Have to show ordinary aspect. So the ordinary aspect for you, it's kindness, or how precious, how kindness is sky, limited sky, or even more than that. So every year, every month, every week, every day, every hour, even second, showing ordinary aspect is how precious it is for you, is how precious it is you, is limitless, how precious it is for you. It's like limitless. You know, you can say 100,000, you can say it's limitless, how precious it is. So, like that. So I have to show the aspect, practice all this. Show the aspect. So to guide to free us from samsara, to bring us to enlightenment. All like that. So show aspect. So the soul, so it is so much taught in Lamrim in this. So anyway, so when it comes to these problems, that's the time when you have to use the method, the quotations, the logic, explain Lamrim and simple Lamrim, and then great philosophy. So that all that. This is what you use. It's a method, tool, interpreting tool. Tool means aspect. You know, not really, but show aspect. You understand? Aspect. Then you have to bring here. So it's all explained. It's explained by Lama Zopa. Then you never bring here this part. Then you create so much unbelievable. Even suffer, no realization. So in the Kopan Monastery, and then I told last time, in the Kopan Monastery, there's a John, I forgot now, picking name now, Geshe, who expert and also special Uma, also expert. So he was boxer. He was boxer. So able to Garden Changse Monastery, Chapel. He was himself learned, but the other teachers were so learned. So he went to the teaching from the other teacher, even though he was learned. So then the second century incarnation was thinking to go to take initiation, and then teaching philosophy from him. So he prepared all the offerings to me tomorrow. Prepared all the offerings to the teaching from him. So at that night he had a very bad dream. He had very bad dream. Then he stopped going. Then he didn't go to the teaching as guru. So he stopped because of bad dream he shown. So he told me. Then what happened? The teacher wrote a letter to his sons, saying that the lamas who practice tajas, the regular lamas, Kamla said he did the worst. I'm not sure. Worst. Most of complaint to his sons was. Anyway, he had thousands of disciples. He has thousands of disciples. Among those many learned disciples. So anyway, the letter was read in the public, in the teaching, in the monastery, in the prayer hall, read in the Gegu, who looks after discipline, read. Then everybody clapped hand. Clapped hand means in the West, clapped hand means be good, but here clapped hand means he's piva, expel. That great teacher was expelled from Garden Changse College Monastery. But now he lives in France. So he's very, very expert. Yes. So that happened. I'll just give you. So that. So during those times, if you are Lamrim practice, if you're not practicing Lamrim, if you understand Lamrim is not much, and especially the root of the path to enlightenment, the Guru devotion practice, if you don't know well, if you're not strong, not strong, definite devotion is strong. If you don't have it, it's up to what happens around environment, or the bad or good, what people talk about the good. Then if your devotion up to that, then it's gone. It's gone. Sorry. So the monks, the Gelupa monks, particularly Gelupa monks, they talk about these problems. Monasteries is a particular Gelupa. It's an incredible problem. So the monks are then, even though so expert in Dharma, but then Lamrim practice, the Guru, they said, no, Rutapatra enlightenment is not there. Then create a habits in the Karma, many eons to be in the Lord. So like that. Like that, biggest problems happened. So this is one example. This is what happened, one example. So so I say the Truda aspect, but do not practice Truda. Then you try to think that way. You try to think from the heart. You think that way. Also, you say that. Then you see. Then people cannot debate. You see. You say they practice. Yes. They made mistake. Yes. Then they have ignorance. Yes. Then they're not Buddha. Then gone. Then all your practice, all your Ruta path is gone, blow away. You know. So then meditating Buddha. You see. Meditating Buddha and what Sudra is one tantra, it's another tantra. Sudra, they're completely false. You understand? So the numberless Buddhas in the past, present, future, by receiving blessing of the Guru, then they achieve enlightenment. Then all this become false. Then means there's no one Buddha achieving enlightenment by receiving blessing of Guru, by looking at Buddha. So there's not even Buddha exists. Then it happens. That's that. You understand? Sorry, to the side of that. So I didn't clarify at that time. I just said Pamga, but didn't clarify. So today I want to clarify. So two temba. So then this way, you don't create the grammar. That's correct, completely correct. You don't create the grammar. So also others can debate to you. So like that, that's very, very important. That is not only people who know little Dharma, not on that. Even they who is expert in Dharma, you have to know this, you have to practice. So I think like that. This Mark is this is safe for you. So you don't create, you're not involved in heavy nikrama. So that's okay. Okay. Then sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So I was talking about before. I must as a couple, but I think even yourself are on the same. See. But I want to say, that, as I say, couple's life, meaning the purpose is to be together. As for happiness, purpose to be together is for happiness. Yeah, but you see, but you must know what is the way to be happiness. You know. Oh, you have to know that. So much hallucinations in that normally. So crazy, so much negativity, your life became totally crazy. So, happiness. Oh, then basically I told myself, good heart. Practicing good heart. Even both are not practicing good heart, at least even one practicing good heart, that helps the other person to slowly to learn good heart, practice good heart, to do good, to be kind to others, to be kind, to be beneficial, to be kind, you understand, to others, to not harm, to not harmful to others, not that. Oh, that's the purpose of even those who are a couple or while you're living together, that's happiness, the real happiness with a good heart. Oh, you have to know happiness, not just luxury life or, not that happiness. Real happiness is a good heart. Oh, conclusion, I'm talking about conclusion, essence. Oh, you have to know good, present good heart, that happiness. Oh, the real happiness. Oh, you only present good heart. Oh, yeah, you learn that. So, even that person very selfish, but that person learn from you. You understand? Oh, so then then both of you can make so many people happy. Also, you become an example to so many people to practice good heart. You understand? So I mentioned, he also said, follow delusion is just cause suffering to yourself, to all sentiments, and follow good heart is bring happiness for you and to all the sentiments. Oh, so it's a big difference between sky and earth. Then what I want to say is that since you have a good heart, then you see every day you have only food, rice and dal. Your mind is so happy. Even you have only food, rice and dal. And as soon as you say a long time ago, even you are living in the grass house, not a cement building, but even you are living in the grass house, but you only have water to drink, but since you have good heart, your mind is so happy. All like that. See, so happiness is not come from outside. Happiness has to come from your mind. So you have to aware this mindfulness every day. You have to that mindfulness, not come from outside, come from your mind. Milarepa doesn't have even 1 rupee. If you're thinking happiness comes from outside, then Milarepa doesn't have even 1 rupee. You understand? And what he adds is only nettle, not rice and dal. Not even rice and dal at all. Only nettle. Only nettle. There's no chili, salt, nothing. Because there's water. And the cooked nettle, that's it. So the clay pot, so much nettle, then you see, it got to Kasure. What do you call? One day the clay pot fell down, broke, but the inside, there's a residue left. By eating so much nettle, so blue things there left. You see, that was left, that was not broken. The clay pot was broken, but the inside, because eating so much nettle, so the leftover, you see, become a kind of a ball. That was left and not broken. So, you see, but you see, I will do some, but incredible peace, happiness. What a miracle! So renouncing the desire to this life, renouncing desire, because this life pleasure, unbelievable peace, happiness, inner, unbelievable peace, happiness. It's it. External nothing. You understand? Now the zillionaire, trillionaire dollars, one who had everything what he can find in the world. That. Because he's been looking at happiness only from inside, not from the mind. Only from inside. So, more rich, greater dissatisfaction. More rich, greater dissatisfaction, unhappiness. So, zillion, not only million, zillion, trillion, greater dissatisfaction. So, you see, never meditate, never practice. I said, never look happiness from the mind. Never at all, not at all. Only believe. He only knows. He only believes it came from outside. So, billion, zillion, $trillion, but the mind is more and more dissatisfied. So much worry, fear. The beggar who has only a stick, every day beg food, live on that. It doesn't that much very heavy suffering, incredible dissatisfaction, unbelievable dissatisfaction. So much worry. The beggar didn't have. The beggar didn't have one stick, live on every life food, didn't have it. You understand? Now you can see clear. Now you can see clear. So happiness has to come from mind, not from outside. How to get out, Milarepa? Nothing but incredible peace, happiness. As he developed realization higher, can you imagine? You see, like that. Excellent, nothing. You understand? So, Jawa in Sabah and many others, there generally who live ascetic life, pure Dharma practice, ascetic life. Because that pure Dharma practice, for the mind, then achieve great peace, happiness, great, like that, you see? You see, like that. So, excellent wealth, how much? Only believing happiness can from only then, how much wealth is then? Great suffering, dissatisfaction, no contentment, dissatisfaction, so much worry, fear, like that. Like that, you see. So very clear, all like that, you see. So that you can see now the big difference between the practicing Dharma, not practicing Dharma. You understand? Big difference in life, the happiness. You see, the total wrong understanding from where happiness comes. The person who don't practice Dharma. And the person who practices Dharma will renounce this life, pure Dharma, or the total difference. Happiness, peace, so much. The moment that becomes the basis for realization. That pure life becomes basis of realization. That great happiness to go to enlightenment. So, big difference. So all that. So the like bodhisattvas, like as mentioned, who had 1,000 wives, so like beneficent means all that bodhisattva, there's no attachment in their belongings. So no matter how much billion, zillion, trillion dollars wealth a bodhisattva have, no attachment. So it's all purely to benefit things. So what he has, wealth or not, is all totally to benefit things. Only belongs to sin, only benefits in the image. So there's no thought that's mine, there's no thought that's mine, So possessed by oneself, the truly in the eyes of sensation. Anyway, the Bodhisattva who was realized emptiness. Okay, so so then you see, just to elaborate, and in you see the practice in 10 virtues. Then, for example, like this, very important. This is very important. So, by giving up killing, and then you see, you guide others, you save others' lives. So you collect merit. You collect unbelievable merit, saving the life of others. Oh, so I don't know, in Taiwan there's one monk, what's his name? The one who is said monk for Taiwan. Ajapasha. He Haito Pashi. So I joined the 2 times for liberating fish. I think they said there's a fish who doesn't eat meat. So so it does that. So anyway, I joined 2 times. So he helped research very much. He has many cows, many animals, besides the liberating fish. Then one time, because he spent so much money, because the Taiwanese government came to ask to come to check why he does that. He came to ask. I heard of that. Anyway, so I don't know about him, but otherwise, I think ABC here, Fred, and then ABC did the most number. How many? 100 million? No. 235 million ABC liberated animal up to now. So that's incredible. That's incredible. So the ABC, that Fred started this. It's great. So, they can say, then they go around the center. Normally the Chinese, they liberate called total, and they live in a monastery where there's some water. They live there, and they just, I don't know what reason they do that. I don't know. That's all I think. But you see, now not only liberate and not only save them from the killing and then put in the water, not only that, here we do something to benefit for them, something to benefit for them. So those big fish in the truck take around small animals and insects take around the strip or downstairs, but because they take by a truck to go around the center has many holy objects, take around so that so that's so good. As I mentioned yesterday, the story how they helped, how that's so important for them to achieve enlightenment. So quick to achieve enlightenment for them. So important for them. So take them around. So benefit for them. Even though it's done because somebody, not always by somebody. As a life obstacle, then you liberate animal, you cause long life to them, then the karma, result karma, then the person gets liberated from sickness or from the danger of death. So even though, but we should benefit the best to them. So take them around the best, and then. Second thing is that you bless water, then purify them by putting birds and the things and sprinkler. Then they might, some they might hear mantra or teachings. Then of course to plant enlightenment. So good. So I mentioned stories like that. Like that. So, because as I mentioned yesterday, so of course, and after that life, human being, a child or something, either born to yourself, or you see as human being in the past life before you, as well, you take them down to purify to message, plant seed to enlightenment. So that's very much possible. So it's been done a long time. So like those things can happen. So then by avoiding taking things ungiven by other people, see, taking other people's things ungiven by people. The stealing, then of the charity, practice charity. So saving others from life. So good. The Chaja Sangha Doje, the Nima, the Chaja Sangha Doje, he lived 113 years old. He lived, and that was from long time from Darjeeling. He lived. Beyond from Gum, I think he lived at monastery, but so many years for a long time he's been liberating fish. So long time, many years ago. So always about liberating fish, and so he lived for 113 years. He lived every time. So I think that's a clear result. That so they make it charity. Making charity so good. So, as I told you in the past tense, so here I'm talking about, especially as lay, what you should do, and especially a couple, what you should do. I'm talking about how to make your life happy. You understand? The point is that. I mentioned the real happiness, good heart. That's all. So now these are sort of commentaries, this sort of what to do, you understand? Or they make charity for animal, charity, human beings, all that. So good, so good. So Buddha said, do you remember, so it is mentioned in Aya Sangha Sutra that even during my teaching, even as somebody size of a hair, so tiny one single hair, means charity to somebody, to the sentient beings, means charity. I think, there is mentioned, life to life. Life to life. Then no sickness, healthy, no sickness, you understand? Healthy. So you can, from your mind, if you understand karma, you can cause your lives and all the community life. No sickness, healthy life, long life, or wealthy, so much with charity, so much wealth as you think you get without effort. You understand? You have to keep from your mind, not from outside, from your mind. Understanding Dharma, understanding karma. You understand? So in the world, they don't know Dharma and don't know karma. The world general people, you see. So, so your son upon your mind, you see. As I say, so they say, from life to life, so much wealth. So everything it comes, so much wealth. So sometimes you see, sometimes is what you thought today, it happens tomorrow. What you desire, what will happen today, what comes tomorrow, or comes next week, next month, all like that. Many times like that, you see. All that. So in the past, you are benefiting others. So they say. It was 80,000 eons, I think. Some quotation, 80,000 eons, or like that. Offering to Buddha, one tiny Christmas light offering, or one small bowl of water offering to Buddha. So for 800 million eons. For 800 million eons, you don't get about Lord dreams. Like that. If you make tiny offering to Buddha, tiny light offering, like Christmas light, or one small bowl of water offering. It's unbelievable benefits. So, then, not only that, with success, your success, and all that things comes from that. Happens. So now sending me charity, then 8,000, not 80,000, 8,000. 8,000. No, she was 80,000. She was 80,000, yeah. So it doesn't get reborn organs. However, then in the future life to life, all the happiness, no sickness, long life, all the wishes get, all the enjoyments you get, like India, like Hindu gods, Brahma, Brahma, what's that one? Brahma? Huh? yeah, want to, huh? What? Shiva, yeah. Like that you see, marriage, the world, marriage, yeah. So then one could then finally go to enlightenment. Oh, like that charity. You make single hand charity somebody. Wow. Oh, those, you see, especially if a lay or a couple of them, all this in charity to others. I say, so they, so what are you going to do about life? Even animal, not all people. Then, by giving sexual misconduct, that the person belongs to others, that basically rough talking. They misconduct, they say, they say, about it, then protecting morality, then as much as you can, protect morality, which create so much problem you and to your life, unhappiness, then to other people, so many other people, unhappiness. So avoiding the misconduct and the protecting morality, then that causes good rebirth. That causes how much you can do, like Atman precepts, and those special days, even Atman precepts, like 1 month, and other times, like 15th, where the more married 15th is one, then I think, 8 and those, normally, and then especially the Buddha's Day, for Buddha's Day, or special holiday, Buddha's special deeds, therefore, then you collect, as I said, you collect 100 million merits. So how many vows we keep that as one precept, so each one becomes 100 million times, keeping collecting merits 100 million times. Like it's done, it is the precept done like 100 million times, like that. On those days, if you keep precepts, so even not, even all the 5 precepts, even not in the 4 precepts, not 3 precepts, 2 precepts, even 1 precept. So abstain from killing or whatever you like to do. So good. That's one thing. So causes to receive the body of the happy transmigration, the rebirth, the human rebirth. Not only one life, but for hundreds, thousands, but on. But you shouldn't think only one life. No, completely not. That helps for thousands, on. So then, avoiding harshly speaking, and then I told already the other day how to live your life, how to, to my own mind think of kindness to others, as I told already, kindness to others. Then you generate loving kindness or compassion. Then your body, speech, mind, body, mind, humble, good manner, physically respect to others. This speech very sweet, very praising to others, very sweet. As sweet as much as brings so much happiness. Physically respect to others, there's so much bring happiness. Then speech, sweet speech, praising, sweet speech, then brings so much happiness and others. Then with your mind, loving kindness, compassion, also, feeling kindness to others, then you see, brings so much happiness in your life, every day, every hour. Then gives so much happiness to all the people, not only at home, wherever you go. So that you will bring peace, perfect peace, happiness in the world. By avoiding harshly speaking, then you speak words are very gentle. That brings so much happiness to others. But not only understand, but should be done every day. There's things we should remember in the morning, every morning, so that we definitely get done in the daytime, at house, even outside. Very, very important. Immediate practice, very important. So, of course, if you make others happy, of course, you naturally become happy. You naturally become so happy. So nobody harms you, nobody likes you, loves you, they pray for you. Then by avoiding telling lie, what you do, you tell the truth to others. So you tell the truth that brings so much happiness to you, to others. Then by telling lie, it brings so much suffering to you and to others. So by avoiding the jealousness, then you see, people who are disharmony, you try to bring together. People who disharmony, so then you speak to them, you try to bring harmonious, like that. So jealous. If you are jealous, then it kind of it breaks the relationship. Disunity, not harmony. Then abandon that. Then it brings harmony. Which was disharmony before, now brings harmony like that. Then by avoiding pride. By avoiding pride, then abide in the Holy Dharma, the humbleness. Like the second verse from the 8 verses, you practice the second verse. Wherever, whomever I accompany, so look at yourself the lowest. Look at yourself the lowest. Then towards others with the whole heart. Then cherish others, looking at it, sublime. All of that is higher. So, as I say, even his own Lama goes down to in France. I remember Kishitenji, he passed away. Kishitenji and myself, we were receiving teaching from his own, but you can just invited. So then we bring with the incense back to his own room. So we stay outside. So he doesn't bend us, but he doesn't bend us for what? Doesn't bend us. So there's no reason. So that's like that, bend us to kind of respect. So that I don't guess because the elder monk, but I'm nothing. So like that. And then maybe I'll tell you one thing. Lama Yeshe, there was one old monk, Dhamsara. So some complaint came from one nun, one West nun. So well, maybe he took paralysis, doing some massage or something. Anyway, the nun did some complaint to Lama Yeshe, what the monk did, and then so the next day we were going to see Rinpoche or I'm not sure if we go down Lama, and that monk was coming up. That monk was coming. That monk was already lung. You can see the face totally changed. His face, lung. You think it lung. So I'm thinking that problem is lung. But Lama did, even though Lama heard the complaint, but Lama still did bend down his head to the monk, and smiled face, then bent. Oh, that's the practice. You understand? That's the real practice. Oh, even you heard the problem, but I don't have problem. No. You just bent down. Lama bent down, bent his neck to him. Smile. Okay. But he was coming up with a lung, face with lung, and it became a strange face, you see. Like that. So he was thinking of that problem, then so like that, you understand? Oh, that's how we should do, how we should practice. It brings so much happiness to you and others. In life, in the future, all the future life, then you see, by avoiding the covetousness, then that's the practicing satisfaction. Then there's practicing satisfaction, contentment, practicing satisfaction. Oh, this thing is enough for me. Oh, see, not desiring dissatisfaction, and more, many. So how much you get, no end. After you get 100,000, 10,000, millions, and after million, billions, and after billion, zillions, no end. So desires, no end, and so on like that. So then with that, so much problem with that. So much negative karma you could create one day. So anyway, so thinking for me that's enough. Practice satisfaction. So if you practice satisfaction, then happiness comes. Happiness comes from your mind. So you're able to practice satisfaction, or then from your mind, then happiness comes in life. Then that's happiness in life. If you don't do that, you want more, like happiness comes from outside. Or then you never get happiness. You only get or you only get dissatisfaction. More suffering, more unhappiness. Oh, that's what happens. Then this helps, see. This opposite to the covenants. So when you generate good heart, you never just thought to benefit others. Oh, then there's abundance and thought to giving harm others. When you do thought, generate thought to benefit others. How much you involved in benefit others. Oh, then that abundance thought of harming others. It's okay. Then you see how much you understand karma, how much you understand Dharma, what is Dharma? Karma. It's karma and the dependent arising. you know how much you believe in that. How much you believe in that karma, so the heresy is abandoned. So heresy becomes less. Heresy becomes abandoned. So this is how 10 non-virtues get abandoned. So 10 virtue increases. Increases, and you collect extensive merits. And then particular, there's a the practice of 10 Dharma conduct. Practice of 10 Dharma conduct. Then Uta, the Amitabha Buddhist teaching, Uta. 이게 뒤에 짐바당 년도 로당 짐바당 차당 근데 제바당 전생바당 고마데 저바 뒤주 당인 순나 보면 writing text and making offering and making charity, the writing text. Well, you do Golden Right Sutra, Arya Sangha Sutra, many people do this, Jamankara Sutra. Many people do the Golden Right Sutra and the Arya Sangha Sutra. There are people who do so many times. Unbelievable. I'm so happy that. So there's, if you write Heart Sutra, Jamankara Sutra, any teachings and emptiness Buddha taught. If you write, so if you write one word, even with black ink, if you write one word of Prajna Paramita, the teachings of Buddha and emptiness, if you write one word, then if you write one word, then how much benefit you get is having made offering to every single Buddha, the numberless Buddha, having made offering to every single Buddha. How long? Kalpa Chawa Tong Yimbayu. Eons. For eons, how many eons? Million eons. How many eons? Million eons. Not just million years, or million eons like that, 1,000 times. Oh, that much length of time, you made offering to numberless Buddha, or you collect just in that second. As you write one word, Prajna Paramita, teachings and emptiness, like Hatsutra, like Dhammakas, teachings from Buddha on the emptiness. You write, I write gold with gold, real gold, but I'm so lazy that every day it doesn't happen sometimes. Sometimes, so something I'm supposed to do every day. So like that. So you can do with the real gold. See, something expensive. But even with ink, it's like this. If you write one word of Buddha's teaching on emptiness, then we get benefit, unbelievable benefit, having made offering numberless Buddha. For how long? Eons. 10 million, million eons. 10 Saya Chawa. 10,000 Saya. 10,000 Saya. Then 10,000 Saya. So 10 Saya is 1 million. 10 Saya is 1 million. This is how I say. 10 Saya is 1 million. So 1 million even, but not just that, but like that 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Oh, that by writing each syllable, we could that much more unbelievable, most unbelievable. Then many other benefits. So the motivation to do before writing, but I want to write, but each goal writing, I write. Each goal writing, all I'm writing as much as possible, not always, much possible, so with mindfulness, that this one writing is for every sentence, every helpings, every hunger was, every hunger was, every animals, that means every ant, every insect, so every human being, every spirit being, every outside being, every interested being. So that includes you, was every MVP. So I write each letter as mindfulness, that this is writing for every sentence. So as much from that. So it's so good. So so how much problem there is, you can hear from news, disaster, weather, water, destroy the city, so many people killed in the war. So here, each letter you dedicate to everybody, for everyone to pure negative karma, to achieve enlightenment. So good, so good, so good, so good. So don't get to done the whole thing, but I try to think what I can. So the real goal, yeah. So I'm so able but so lazy doing it, and yeah. So okay. Did you I'm just as one benefit, but there's ample benefits. So protect you from black magic. So I mean, other things, sing is listening teachings, in particular emptiness, and then reading and memorizing, and explaining and reciting the everyday Kanda Java. Then reflecting meaning of the text, meaning of Dhamma, meditating. Java Diju, Tangini, Sunapuma Patime. So these 10 nature of these 10 as a Dhamma contact is Sunapuma Patime. The merits is limitless, unfathomable. The heaps of the merits is unfathomable. So so I'm talking how to make the life happy. You understand? A conclusion, how to make your life happy. Simple title is that. And how to make also how to cause others happy. Cause, no question. So this how to make life meaningful. You understand? Oh, this say. I thought maybe to read just short. Milarepa's Guru. How do you say Guru? What's in English? No song. No song. Guru. There's I forgot. Song no. Song say. 考下的谁？Good hymns, yeah, hymns. Yeah, I thought, but there's I don't know why the chanting, but it was incredible inspiration. Jalame kula soande, Lama Zopa kula soande to the Holy Buddha. I make a request. Please bless me to be able to live a beggar retreat in the Hermitage, beggar Hermitage, to be able to do that. Please bless me. My happiness. My happiness not known to my relatives, not known by relatives. My happiness not known by relatives. The Vadaya Master sings, my suffering not known by enemy. If I can die at this hermitage, this retreat place, if I died at this hermitage, I completely Nandra Sambas always. If I die at this hermitage, Nandra Sambas always, my thought of my yogi thought is completely Nandra Sambas always. So my happiness not unknown by the relatives, my suffering unknown by the enemies. If I will die at this hermitage, Nandra Sambas always. So the yogis wish is a completion. No. Gaba Trojan Master. Old age unknown by the friends. Sickness and unknown by the sister. So this relation with Milarepa himself. These things unknown by his sister. If I could die at this hermitage, I yogis wish completion. Shiva miya masursi, ruri chayi matongar. And my death unknown by the people. And the body rotten, unseen by the birds. These birds, otherwise, if they eat your rotten body, then they fight. You see? So this rotten body unseen by the birds. If I die at this hermitage, I yogi wish completion. Shariratame jivatang. My flesh and bone sucked by the fleas, by fleas, no, bees. Shariratame jivatang, dhamma. My flesh and bone sucked by the flea. No flea. Dhamma. So flies. My flesh and bone sucked by flies. Bees, you can say bees. Bees. Flesh and bones are sucked by the bees or the flies. And the nerves, the nerves and the the nerves, the body's nerves, and jiva, that I think hold the body, I think bones, nerves, what? Tendon. Yeah, veins and tendons, eaten by maggots, eaten by maggots. So that you buoy sour, eaten by maggots. If I die, and so the vein and what? Tendons, eaten by maggots. If I die at this, if I'm able to die in this hermitage, my Ayayoga's wish is complete. No gonna mije mevada. So at the outside door, there's no footprint of human beings. Nana takze mevadu. So that I'm not so sure. Outside, there's the human footprint. Inside, nana takze mevadu. So that also no blood inside. I'm not 100% sure that nana takze mevadu. If I'm able to die at this hermitage, Ayayoga's wish is completed. Not just about Rola Kome Mevadang. My crops, you see, there's no people looking after, people coming to watch, to see, no people coming. Rola Kome Mevadang. You know, then you died, then the people come and they cry. You know? There's nobody coming like that, crying. Even you die, there's nobody crying. If I'm able to die at this hermitage, not just about Zawin, Ayayoga, the wish completed. Kasun Dimi Mebadan. There's nobody question why I went. No, there's nobody who's questioning why I went. Because I'm saying this song, there's nothing. Nothing to talk about, I think. There's nothing to talk about where I'm. Nothing. So if I'm able to die at this hermitage, Ayayoga's wish is complete. Mime Lungbe Tabuto, Mime Lungbe Tabu is a cave. In the cave, with in the country there's no human being. Well, against the area, no human being in that cave. I, the beggar, this prayer of death, made this receive benefit to all the transmigrant beings, all the sentient beings. If all the sentient beings receive the benefits, then my wish is completed. Yeah. So I thought just a little, just a little part of Milarepa, the renunciation, the happiness, peace, happiness, Milarepa. Has incredible peace, happiness, renouncing this life. So I thought to hear a little bit. So all this, because then no worry, no fear, nothing. You see, in the life, it's like that. So yeah, for example, in the West, when you die, you have to buy the box, very expensive, so expensive. Or then you have to buy the land, so expensive. Now the land is so rare because so many people die in the land. To buy the land is so rare. I heard many years ago in Australia, there's no land to buy, you see, to bury your body. So that is so expensive to die in the West. So expensive. In Tibet, you see the common people. Then they have all the pujas, all the things, all what have done. You see, the common people do follow. They want to come to knowledge, come known. So people follow. One book that I wrote, take care of the dead people. At the end of the year also you to puja for the dead person. It's incredible. So, requesting the monasteries, the monks and the lamas to pray and all the other things, offerings. So, then body is brought to the cemetery and cut in pieces and then made charity to Kasure, to the Bolger, there's something to read, text, then they all come. You can invite text to read, and they eat. Then the brain is the last one, like we have after the food, what's it called, a dessert. That brain dessert. Then at the end the brain crashes, and then wait. Then you see before eating the rest of the meat, cut in pieces. So there's one bird, there's one vulture, come to eat. There's one special vulture, comes to eat. Then he goes, then talk. Then maybe some piece protected. Doesn't take complete, but drops somewhere or some. Then all the birds come. They have discipline. They have rule. And then brain comes. They wait. Then the special bird comes. Talk. Then maybe then all the birds come to eat the brain. So like that. So there's one Kandala telling me that's one Dagini that she knows. No, she's not dead. She manifests vulture. And she had one iron ring, iron something on the feet. And so one time, I don't know, whatever, the caretaker doesn't know that's the Dagini. So So I don't know. He hit a stick or something to the leg. So there's something on the leg. So she comes first. Before that, nobody eat. She just short like this. Then also the brain also, she comes to at the beginning to start. Then everyone eat. So there's a Dakini manifestation. She's there's another Khandro Dakini that she knows. And people in our country so much fed to her, to Khandra. And then, I don't know whether vulture or, I don't know what, maybe eagle, I'm not sure. So they pray so much to her. Or then comes a bird. And then land on the rock. Then, according to the prayer. Then for some time, then it leaves. So that actually happened at our home, the area, the place. So like that, I say. In Tibet, that's a common thing. You make your body charity. You make your body charity to. To the sentient being, you see. So I guess you make your organs you make charity your organs. I think probably right after breath stopped. I heard right after breath stopped, then they have to get the organs right after that. Something I heard. So anyway, making charity to those who need. I think it was similar. So here, I extended particularly living their life, and the couple. So how you can make your life meaningful, happy. So I'm talking on that. How happiness comes from mind, not from outside. So I said, Milarepa, those ascetic ones, nothing outside. Can say, $10 billion, $10 trillion, and all the things they have, what they can find in the world. But they only believe happiness comes from outside. So then the unbelievable dissatisfaction, more world there is a greater dissatisfaction. So much worry, fear. Lama chain. What is the difference? So it's very for Western outside who don't Dharma, then you can see in this as ascetic meditation, artist Dharma, unbelievable peace, happiness there in their life. So this very surprised. Outside nothing. Outside that's very important to understand. Happiness you have to make by your mind. Happiness, love, you have to create by your mind. And it comes from your mind. Okay. Maybe I'll stop here. Did all the past, the present, future, marriage, to culture, children, marriage, to culture, numberless, and that means children, marriage, to culture, numberless Buddhas, and made the bodhicitta, also all the happiness, success for oneself, for all, and made we generate in the heart of all the family members. In the heart of numberless helpings, numberless hunger gods, numberless animals, numberless human beings, numberless spirit beings, numberless asura beings, numberless intimate beings. without delay even second. And may the bodhicitta which generated in the other's heart may increase. Sanju Esmenjo Rinpo Chema Jebanga Jejo Jeba Nyamba Neba To realize the emptiness, the meaning of dependent rising, to realize dependent rising, meaning of emptiness. Konde ranchi duntama meba tang tende ruwa meba hensa game trosu chawa loju kongden toba chenjero. So I don't have to repeat. It is there, you can see, so I don't have to repeat. That helps to save time. Due to all the past specifics, I made it scholarship. I mean, I made it scholarship, numberless Buddhas. And then to happen this next prayer, Lama Zopa Mana Direct good in all lifetimes. Not only for you, not only for you. And then, for your family, all the students in the FPMT, all the students, and all the benefactors who help the different projects, everyone. Not only now, but in the past, and now, future. Chera kundu jawa sangha vete cho shinyen nusu zebetu yawe ngabe lamsa tenye keche sanyang jawa manjo inje. And Jimmy Lama Zopa teaching. So you are studying Madhamika Gomorapsa. So you are studying now, then you are meeting Lama Zopa teaching. That's written by Lama Zopa himself, the Gomorapsa. So you are meeting, so the way to meet is the first you hear the teachings, words. Through that, by understanding meanings and through practice, then you get realization. What's said in the text you have in your heart. Then that frees you from, totally free from oceans or some sufferings. Then that brings to enlightenment. So rejoice. Rejoice, and then those who haven't taken teaching, you rejoice in those who are those who are taking the teachings, those who are really receiving the opportunity. So you rejoice, so that I can help you, or that can help you in the future to receive those teachings. Nanda Tsame Chimdan De La Che Jase Cheve Nindo Che Deton Choge Rimni Nanchu Losan Jave Tendan Javara Pande Lama Jigu Chinta Wakodang Gose Seta Shinga Cheje Sencho Sangpo Chinta Tenda Kona Taso Juhara Pande Lame Namba Tawa Geje Tsamya Lota Betish Jinze Lewa Tonga Muguji Lame Chila Samla Chubara. Then all your wishes to listening, reflecting, meditation, prayer to achieve realization. So all your wishes, all your activities succeed according to Holy Dharma without any effort, and then all your wishes for others to achieve happiness for others, for you to cause happiness to others, all that, then to accomplish without effort. So pray for this. Medang Zoa Magwe Shino Pasan Sende Rewa Gonzebe Samba Tube Tashi Jo. Very important education. Due to all the past, present, future, marriage, future, marriage, numberless sentiments, numberless Buddhas. May the war, famine, disease, torture, poverty, sickness, all the dangers of earth, water, and fire, wind, all these things in this world to be pacified immediately, and made this world filled with perfect peace and happiness by generating loving, including enlargement, generating bodhicitta, generating bodhicitta, the bodhicitta, achieve from their loving kindness and compassion to all the sentient beings. And then did all the past, present, future, marriage, teacher, marriage, by numberless sentient beings, numberless Buddhas. This country, Israel, the 14 people died. 14 people was their mining. So the earth fell down. Huh? What? Brazil. Oh, I see. So they are mining. So 14,000, then they couldn't come out because earth dropped, right? Earth dropped on them, right? Is it right? Huh? What? Yeah, okay. So all this due to all this marriage, there's 14 people. Yeah, incredible hard life. Then, may they not be born Lords at all. May they born only in the pure land where they can become enlightened. Or receive perfect in the body, meet mana teaching, meet the perfect qualified mana guru, showing the whole path without missing anything to enlightenment. And then, by seeing the guru, Buddha, then with that realization, there is blessing the guru, then they immediately achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. Like that, anybody died. Your family members, all of them died. Then with the same thing, okay? Chize Gundam Baba Masoje Mondo Dodan Jajan Done Romosinian Daji Gunje Kala Jeben Jeva Joa Lama Sama Tamdi Sama Dangeje Sunya Jose Sama the Mad Dagine Ramonanda Zazu Zebe Jujuji Kanganam Jotame Chewa Tunda to Josanyas Drobaya Baje Gunze to the Mundota due to all the past person which I made it to classify, teacher made it to classify, normally sentient beings, normally Buddhas. May I see any sentient being, hear their voice, touch them, remember them, under them. Any sentient being see me, touch me, remember me, hear my voice, and just by that, may all their suffering be pacified immediately. And they made achieve perfect peace, happiness, including enlightenment. And then by exercising loving kindness thought, bodhicitta. I hope I mentioned last time. I think I mentioned last time. But you see, if you do dedication like this, so one dog, one Australia, one lady has one dog. And this dog had some disease, and the people who look after animal, what's called? They call fate. So they thought nothing to do, take it home, back to home, nothing to do. So they didn't give any treatment. So lady took the dog back to home, and then on the post, she put my picture there, and let the dog sit facing to that. But she said, the dog too refugee. But we were sitting here, facing my portrait. Do that, then dog gets better. Dog become alive, to get better from the sickness. And that's what she thanked later told me. And then another girl in Australia, she had heart problems. So she had my portrait and she rubbed on her heart like this, and then she got better heart sickness. So there's two things what I heard. So like that, anywhere in the world, if you make the prayer, then anywhere in the world, that's what so that you can help. You can dedicate the minute, because you dedicate the minutes. So anybody, any part of the world are fine. So it helps. They remember you and all that. So like that, dedications like that. Yeah. Then due to all the past, present, future merits, collected merit, past, present, future merits, collected by numberless sentient beings, and the past, present, future merits, collected by numberless Buddhas. That which is, even though it appears truly exists from inside to one's own hallucinant mind, but in reality it's totally empty. It is totally empty. Do not exist at all from its own side. It exists in mere name, only in mere name. Where the I, who appear real to one's own hallucinant mind, so that is total non-existent from its own side. It exists only in the mere name. Achieved Buddhahood, which exists in the mere name. Lead all the sentient beings. Who appear real one, real sentient being, to one's own hallucinant mind. So reality do not exist, even such an atom from its own side. It exists in mere name. So lead to that, lead the sentient beings, Milarepa sentient beings, and to Buddhahood, which appear real one, real Buddhahood, which appears like that to hallucinate one's own hallucinate mind. It doesn't exist even the size of an atom. It exists in the millennium. By oneself alone, who was up here real one, to one's hallucinate mind. So it doesn't exist even size of an atom from its own side. Totally empty. It exists, world is totally empty, it exists in the millennium. In the millennium, by oneself alone. What's that? Oh, the oneself alone which exists in the millennium. Milarepa to what want. Jambam Bave Chita Jimba Dagundo Sambo Diyan Dejindu Dada Kunji Jesun Dalo Yawa Jita Tamche Raptu Mo Tuzan Shepe Jawa Tamche Noa Gama Chotu Ngava Yenda Gege We Sawa Dikong Sambo Jeje Raptu Mo Inji Chimdene Bata Chamayan Tabasava Siga, Namanatu Javaraja, Hanjus Ambasava, Chapokunda Sambara Chazo, Chimdene Jamana, Namanatu Javara Chazo, Chesamasava, Chapokunda Sambara Chazo, Namanatu Javara Chazo, Chesamasava, Chapokunda Sambara Chazo, Tatom is Java, Bodin Swam, Tatom is Java, Bodin Swam, to the Zami, Tatom is Java, Bodin Swam, to the Zami, so Tatom is Java, Ndr Zami, so Tatom is Java, Bodin Swam, to the Zami, Tatom is Java, Bodin Swam, to the Zami, so Tatom is Java, Umdr Zami, so Tatom is Java, Bodin to the Zami, so Tatom is Java, Bodin Swam, to the Zami, so. Chimney Jamada was in Minjala, Jamata, Jamada was in more than to Javana Tasa, Mission Seche, Javation, Tenderuva, maybe a Dambata, Dagala Santa, Nandama, Benegundra. Come on,
Somon Koro Vele Mono ten jo.
Because I already mentioned, I think in the West, here, all these countries, or China, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, all that. Anyway, I think the debt making so expensive unnecessary. There's no one merit for that. There's no one single merit. It's just so expensive for your body, but your mind is not there. So, but it's like rock. I mean, like bush, like in a tree, like So, what's the benefit of that? There's nothing. Only that only with attachment, negative karma. So you spend so much money for negative karma. So I would think your body just burn. I mean, you make charity. Even Buddhist. There's a homeless, numberless homeless, no food, no money. I mean, nobody's there's so much need help. To even make charity, the money that you're going to spend your debt, you make charity. So charity, so you collect so much merit, dharma, from sincere charity. Then with the bodhicitta, you make charity. Wow! Then each charity, each dollar, rupee charity, you collect more than sky merit. With the bodhicitta, you collect more than sky merit. Each rupee, each dollar you may charity to other sentiment. What? Even $1 you may charity. Even with only $1, you may charity. Oh, that's good. So total West, completely. No, maybe only the people who work for that, maybe they get the money from that. Maybe people who sell the box, maybe. And people who sell the land, I don't know. That's total West. So even charity, the numberless homeless, numberless who don't medicine, don't have food, don't have so much. That's there. Then you're Buddhist, of course. Wow! Then, then number of things. Offering to Guru Buddha Sangha, Baba, building holy object, Buddha, statues, strippers, sculpture, writing sculpture, printing, so much. So even offering, even you make water offering, light offering, one water offering, one light offering, one person, one candle, to the Buddha, without thinking even Guru, just Buddha. You collect, as I said, 800 million merits. 800. You create, of course, unbelievable merit. You create a cause of enlightenment immediately. You create a cause of enlightenment immediately. Then 800 million times, 800 million eons, you don't get upon Lordism. Unbelievable. Say. you go to enlightenment, career cause of enlightenment. So, yes, even one candle, one light offering, one offering Buddha. So that, see, if you're Buddhist, you would like that. There's so much you can do. Then you see, example, I tell some of the benefactors, when the observation comes out offering to the big monasteries, there's 6 monasteries within that Saragatandevu. So then comes to me offering this due to sickness or some life obstacle or something. So I tell them with the bodhicitta, then offering to the Sangha. So by offering to the Sangha, the unbelievable merit you collect. So they live in the 30th vow or 25th vow, so the Papa will call so much merit. So in the past, as I mentioned, one person who has nothing offered a medicinal food to 4 ordinary monks. One time. So just that, due to that karma, then next life, he was born as the most powerful king in India, King Kashika. Most powerful, most wealthy, most famous. Just the next life, he was born like that. So all that is come from the very simple good karma. They make a medicinal food offering to 4 monks, to 4 ordinary monks. That's it. Wow, just what happened in the next life. Wow. Then there's then it goes life to life, then they can go to enlightenment. Yeah, possibility. So first general bodhicitta, then make offering to the monastery, or they're offering tea, or they're offering bread, or they're offering money, or they're offering food, or whatever. And then, if those monks if you have received teachings from His Holiness, then those monks, almost every group of monks receive teachings from His Holiness. Even nowadays, even the Nyingma, many others, and then they receive teachings from His Holiness. Many of them. So then second thing, all those monks, whichever monastery are making offering, all those monks are your guru, His Holiness Lama's disciple. They are paws. They are all paws of His Holiness, your guru, His Holiness Lama's paws. Oh, then you are offering, then to them you are making offering. Or they are making tea offering, with the money offering, bread, food, water, whatever offering. Or then you collect merit, even to one monk making offering by thinking His Holiness pause. So since you have teachings from His Holiness. Or then you collect merit more than offering to numberless Buddha, numberless Dhamma, numberless Sangha, numberless statue, numberless tripa, numberless scriptures. Or more than that, you collect merit by offering to tea, cup of tea, 1 rupee, or food, whatever, so one monk. So now this monastery has several 2,000 monks or 1,000 more, and or like that. Unbelievable. Then altogether, there's a monument that is one more. 2 monasteries joined, all Sarah, all garden, all different, so many. So can you imagine how much marriage you create, wow, it's kind of unimaginable. So if you think, so I tell some of the benefactors, because a big puja comes up, very expensive, so I tell them, explain them, unbelievable merit required. So like that, not all the time, but some. That's all. Yeah, the thing is, stop here. So recently, Fred went to, I think you went there 2 times, Milarepa cave. 1 time, 2 times. Huh? 3. Milarepa cave in Roaling, Milarepa cave, he went 2 times to retreat. And he want to go again. So he realized by meditating for 2 weeks or more, he realized discover all the bad, good, everything not come from his own side, it came from his mind. Or everything bad, good is it came from his mind. He discovers that. I think due to the blessings of Milarepa. So I think when you have time, to go to Roaling. So in the future, then you go to see the Pema Sambhava cave, amazing Pema Sambhava cave. Then Milarepa cave, I haven't seen yet. So yeah, then if you have time there, you can do a short retreat or something like that. So see, to get some experiences, I think so. That's thank you very much.